So my plan here is to build an office behind the bays, and if I went floor to ceiling here, you would see that the wall would block the skylight, so I can't do that. But I wanted to make the bays more appropriate size to what a garage shop would look like, so I'm going to put a storage room and a shelf along the back wall. And right here I'm cutting the plastic for the elements. So while I'm just cutting out plastic, let me walk you through what we're doing here. This model is going to go in the West Sacramento model at the Martinez Club as part of the series that I'm doing right now, and it's going to go in this location at the corner of the street. This building right here is a prototype, defunct auto repair business, and I'm not doing a prototype of this due to the space, but just take the architectural elements and turn it into something that looks like it belongs in West Sacramento and looks sort of like this building. So with the roof of the office cut roughly out of a scrap piece of plastic, now it's down to the final sizing and getting it to fit comfortably in that location. Again, we're using my cut long and then size down approach to getting these pieces to fit, and kind of walking you through here all the cuts that it takes just to make one little shelf that's a rectangular piece. If you're a better modeler, you just measure it out to size and make the cuts, but I'm a hack, so this is the way I do it. So if you look closely at the corners, I have those suspension pieces in there, but since my piece is right size, I got to cut the corners in order to allow for those structural pieces. So after about 15 minutes of fiddling around, this is how things get built on my workbench. Yeah, it's a nice solid fit. The next step is to find a piece of scrap paper or scrap plastic that fits the wall space and cutting it down to size using the exact same approach: cut long, file back. And without too much effort, we have a storage room. You also have to cut the corners in order to make the item fit along the bottom where there's additional structural pieces for the building wall. So with that done, I'm going to move to the outside of the building and build that architectural piece around the building using this metal roofing material from Evergreen. The material is a little flimsy and short along the long surface of the building, so I put two pieces together using a backer, thin piece of plastic as a backer.
So this is the thin plastic that I used to back these pieces that warped, and I just glued them on with CA. Well, I started putting this together and it warped all hell, so what I'm probably going to have to do is when I install it, put a back brace on it. I doubled up the size of the plastic with a piece of styrene so that I could get, first of all, a little bit of depth on this piece, and it seems to have made the process worse. Put two pieces together here, which will hide when I put the other little segments on here. What I'll end up doing here is taking a piece of styrene along the back, and then installing it off the front, offset a little bit. That's about the way it'll look. This is going to be a little piece for right here, so this will be cut down. I'm not really thinking about using this. I still might. This piece is going to go like this, and then the piece to go like this. This. I've done these before and those are always fun.
I have the full video of me doing all of these elements, but in the interest of not boring you to absolute death, we'll speed it up to the point where I clipped off the retaining pieces and move on. Before hitting it with a file, I went over all the pieces with CA one more time to make sure it was completely bonded, and then running a file across the edge will grind down anything overhanging, because we have to put a piece on the top and bottom of this if you look back at the prototype. The first piece I tried was the strip material that used for the vertical sections, but a little too thin. So now I went to the plastic bin and found some square to size the offset from the wall. Looking at the prototype, you can see that the offset is because of the one building over here, and then it's really thin on the other side, so using this big piece for that overhang doesn't work. Need something smaller. I was satisfied with this distance, so in order to put the top and bottom brace on this element, I put the backbone on and weighted it down to get the piece straight for that for those other two pieces. At this point, I hadn't made any final decisions on how I was going to run that architectural element and make it look like something that made sense with respect to the prototype, and but I did know that that little element was going to have to come off. So this is what we're starting with, and these are all the different ways that I considered mounting those sections on the roof. As you look at these, feel free to leave a comment below and let me know what you think about the decisions I made and how you would have done this differently if you were building the model. So as the CA set up, I finally decided once and for all that these elements were going to go. I felt they were going to be seen by the public, and they just didn't make any sense, so off they came. I lost some video in here, but this is how I ended up gluing the styrene on the top and bottom using styrene plastic, and then I glued the second back brace on the back and then painted it up, and this is what the mocked up item looks like in its final colors. So with that concludes our video for today, and in the final video we'll go on to the detailing. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.